morning, you're listening to 92.7 Arrow FM, and this is the Nothing Personal Show with me, Nikki King. And this morning on the show, I've got some really exciting guests. I'm so excited. I've got Juliet and Marvin Guerrero from Casita Flora and the gallery and the homestay and the very, very colourful Don Luciano coffee roastery and cafe. Good morning, Juliet.
Good morning, Nikki.
Good morning, Marvin.
Good morning.
Right, I'm just going to mention my lovely sponsor just a moment, who is Sherry from Hot Yoga for You. And that's a great little yoga studio down in Kirapuni. So thank you to Hot Yoga for sponsoring us and making this show possible, and also Fuzzbox Designs, which is a website design company. Now, let's talk to you about your coffee roastery. So, Marvin, do you want to tell us a little bit about Don Luciano?
Oh, yes. What would like to know?
well, just tell us where you are. And
in the corner of King and Chapel Street. Okay,
Yep.
And we get a little headquarters from the coffee roastery and the cafe.
Yes.
As a showcase. So basically, Don Luciano is a Latin American cafe style with very colorful, warm, and a beautiful Honduras, Guatemala, and Colombian coffee.
Yeah.
With all blends and single origin coffees for plancha and for filters and any kind of variety of coffee.
Yes. And then you've got some lovely food in your cafeteria.
As well. That one with the roastery, I want to have that Kiwi style fresh baking.
Yes.
But in the lunchtime, Latin street food that you find in every corner in Latin America.
Yes.
We are in the corner. Look like a Latin America. We got Latin American street food.
Yes.
From baleadas, arepas, Mexican huevos rancheros, and obviously Kiwi breakfast as well. And for lunch, we swapped to a lot of Latin street food as well, from soups and traditional dishes that we always have in Spain, Latin America, Central, Mexico, and South.
Yeah, and it's a very colourful environment when you walk through the door, isn't it? Not just from you, but from the colours in the... I always feel really warm when I walk through the door. Yeah. It's always a really nice experience to come down.
Thanks to Juliet, she had the good eyes into she's being a Latin American, and any time when we travel, we're trying to remember what we saw and what we like. And anyway, it's my home country, and it's easier to be in.
Yes.
And I feel happy.
Yes. So, coming to you, Juliet. So, you're sort of the artistic kind of person. You've got a gallery.
I do.
You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. I've got a home-based gallery, Nikki. So it's we live in Carterton, number 2 Wyndham Street, which is the corner of Kent and Wyndham. And I set the gallery up around 9 months ago, spring of last year.
Nice.
Just as a natural progression, it's my workspace. I have a studio there that I work in and I create from, and a garden. A lovely garden. I think it's lovely.
You've got a lovely spot actually there on the corner.
It's a good spot.
Because I used to live just round the corner in Taverner.
Ah.
Yeah, so I used to pass there
right.
quite often. Yeah.
Yeah. So I decided to set my wares up basically, to be able to work from there and to sell from there as well, and combine it with the presence of my garden.
Oh, nice. So what sort of things do you create in your workspace?
I create a range of jewellery essentially.
Oh, nice.
My label is Love You Like a Sister.
That's a good name.
Well, it has a ring to it, and it's also about the fact that I have one precious sister, and I really wanted to have that, to have her presence there.
Yeah.
She's a great girl. So, Love You Like a Sister encapsulates wonderful colours, and my travels through Latin America and various other areas of the world, representing the pieces and the influences that I've had there, combining it with my own design.
Oh, that sounds fascinating. So it's mainly jewellery. Do you do anything else?
I do. I sell a range of textiles, rugs, cushions, interior pieces. Again, they're pieces that represent my experiences and my love of things as I've gone around parts of New Zealand and interesting places in the world. So combining colour and texture. And also a large range of plants, succulents and pots. Nice. So my gallery sort of ventures outdoors as well, Nikki, so it's that combining of inside nice. And out.
So you're a big lover of colour?
I am. I am. Yeah.
You share that passion with me, then I absolutely love colour. Wouldn't think today, would you? I mean, very monochrome colours today, but reds and rich colours. And
sure.
And I think that's probably why I get drawn to the cafe, Don Luciano as a place to go, because the colours are quite nice and
they do something to your spirit. They
do
bring you alive.
They do. So coming back to you, Marvin. Now, I remember when I first come into the cafe, you were telling me a story about the name Don Luciano. Do you want to tell the people at home about that?
Yes. Back again with how I want to have a connection. With things I really love, memories, and Luciano. He was my grandfather, so people call him Don Luciano, in the sign of respect. So, we spent many years in his elderly together. So I learned how to make his coffee all the time, and talking about the farm, and going on the farms and the mules, and he created a great experience about coffee in my mind. So. And it's important for me to keep that spirit of happy and love. Yeah. So Luciano, or Don Luciano, is the name of the cafe.
And it's like a homage, I suppose, to your ancestry.
Absolutely, and that's why I got a picture of him in the cafe, and I love to have a whole connection, to have a Honduras coffee.
Yeah.
And the smell and the aromas go back again to that where we're from. Yeah. So I know exactly the coffee from Honduras. Got coffee from Honduras. The name is Luciano. Honduras food, Latin food. It's very connected, and it's a very good environment when growing in the farms, because there's the people in the farms in the time. In the 60s and the 70s and 80s, the point of meeting is over a cup of coffee.
Yes.
Okay, and there was no. In the mountains, there are no cafes. Everything is in the kitchen.
Yes.
We had the stove on and coffee being roasted, and so it's the meeting point. So people walk to meet friends out in the kitchen. So and that's for me. There's the concept of union in a cafe.
Yeah.
People, it's a meeting point.
It is. It's very important as well, and to get another meeting point in Masterton is just an amazing thing, because I think that's probably where I would choose to go and meet, and I have met quite a few people in your cafe. They go, where do you want to go? Don Luciano. Yeah, it's nice. Great. It's got the whole colour thing going for me. There's a designer, I love that. Yeah. So that's really cool. So, what? I'm going to swap over to you now. Sure. And I didn't say earlier to you people at home, these two are husband and wife, obviously, because they've got the same name. So, partnership, which is quite cool. And that's the same as me and Mr. King at home. So I'm going to come back to you. So have you always had a passion to open a gallery, or was that something that just popped up as a natural progression?
I've always loved trading, Nikki. I've always loved that interaction of being with people. Like if I'm somewhere, I look for a market. I look for a central place of interaction.
Yeah.
And my mother was a great fossicker. She would take me to second-hand shops, to antique shops. And I would always be there with her with eyes as wide as saucers while she looked at lovely trunks and interesting pieces of furniture and floor pieces. So it started from there, an appreciation of things. And I did have a gallery in Wellington. So I lived in Wellington for 25 odd years, from mid-80s onward. We've been back in Wairarapa for 15 years. So in that time I had a shop / gallery in Newtown and in the city.
All right, and was it doing the same sort of thing, jewellery?
It was, funnily enough, but it was a much larger space, and at that time I painted it this beautiful, vibrant green, which I still use today. I had huge big window spaces in the shop, so I had a lot of original beautiful stained glass work and things that would hang and reflect the light in the windows. So setting this venture up now that I have is like a mini version of what I did back then, which I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
But it's a calling. It's what makes me happy.
I think as you get older, you find those things, don't you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, and connect back with them, and it's been an absolute joy.
Because I had a 10-year gap with music. I didn't do music for 10 years while my children were very small. And I sort of lost who I was for a while because it's a very big part of my life. When you come back to it, it's like, oh, this is so cool, got to...
It's riding a bike again, it's comfortable, it's home.
It's and you get that spirit back into yourself and you think, oh, yeah, gosh, what happened there for 10 years, I
know. But stuff happens, other good stuff happens.
That's right.
But I think you do go back to the things that you truly love, and particularly, I guess, as you get a little bit older too, it's about fulfilling those things that you need, like the coffee for Marvin and the connecting back to his family and his heritage and the things that matter to him. And that I so relate to what he's saying about that smell of coffee and the meeting of people and the connecting and the talking and the eating. And now he's able to bring that here.
Yes, that's a really important thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
it's great.
Both of you have mentioned that you travel to do you just do a lot of travelling back to Latin America, to Honduras?
Yeah.
But we met essentially when we were working on cruise ships. So that's how we met. So we spent 6 years together on ships.
Wow.
Contracts of 8 months or so. And that was through the Caribbean. Yep. And I also did a 8-month stint in the Mediterranean on one of the Costa Cruises, Italian ships. Excuse me. Yeah, so that's how Marv and I met. So there was a lot of travel going on there, lots of different ports.
I can imagine, and sort of life on a ship in a mini community.
Indeed. Or not so many, of 2,500 passengers and 1,200 crew. 1,200
crew, that's quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, they're big.
Because I've got a friend back in the UK who was a musician on a cruise. He used to go off and do music on cruises.
Likewise,
and he would go off and tell me about the escapades they'd do in the days off, all those kind of things. Because it's a lifestyle, isn't it, really?
It is, and that's what began my journey, I guess, was my flatmate at the time was a musician, a drummer in one of the bands on board. And he said, Jules, you should give it a shot. And I thought to myself, no, it's not really my thing. I don't think just, not being able to get off and have my garden around me and my kitchen and my fridge.
I reckon.
But I was seduced by the other things that were involved, and that's...
it's a good job, isn't it, now?
Yeah.
I bet you wouldn't change it.
I know, never. I look back and we've met a lot of people that or younger people, haven't we, Marv, that have wanted to, or have entertained the idea of going on board and working. And we've mentored them a little bit and spent time with them. And
because you have to be prepared for that thing that you are there for that contract.
Indeed, it's hard work.
Because I worked on site in a holiday centre in England, which was the same thing. You did essentially 8 months. It was not on a ship, but it was in a holiday situation, 1 day off a week. And it's full on for the whole thing.
It is.
Completely full on. You're in the guest's face all the time. And I remember coming home when I left from the season, and I was saying hello to everybody in the street. I was going, hello, how are you? And people were like, because I was one of the entertainment staff, so I was used to doing that. And people were like, who is she? It was just crazy. It was ingrained into my head because I'd been living 24/7 on site saying hello to everybody that passed. And how are you today?
Yeah, that's right. And we were never allowed to have.
You'll be good at working in the cafe.
Well, I've done that as well. I've worked in cafes. I've done everything, me.
Hello.
So I can imagine, and coming back down to earth is was a big bang for me.
Sure.
So I suppose after 6, did you say you did 6 years?
6 years.
So
and breaks in between, 3-4 months in between.
Yeah.
I could nominate my time off. Marvin had a more sort of structured time on board. He was working at sea, Nikki, for a lot longer than that.
Wow.
So I could say to myself, okay, that was a really full on 8 months. I need 3 months just to be. But I'd always come back to the Wairarapa. I always call Wairarapa my home because
it's amazing.
My dad still lives here on a wee block of land which he farms. And my mother's here too, so this has always been home, coming back to fresh air and good food and, just walking the paddocks and lovely stuff. Big skies, starry nights. Yeah. Love it.
So Marvin, you were on the cruise ships as well, so what drew you to that? What was the big draw card?
I was 21 and I just when I decided to move to out of the country, I just want to collect some money and to build and to open a business in Honduras. And the good way to capitalize money was working a cruise ship in Europe. So I started working in Italy for almost 6.5 years in Italy since I was 21. And I just, it was an amazing way of living. You're 21, every day you get up a new port. You start in Genoa, tomorrow you're in Lyon.
I know.
After you're in France, in Monaco, and next day you are in Spain, Barcelona, Malaga. When I was 21, summertime, traveling after the next cruise, you go next week, go to Israel, Western Egypt, in Turkey, and all the Greek islands. What else do you want when you're there?
They pay you a couple of cold beers in the sun.
They pay you the money. And
what could you ask for?
No, that's true, and it's just crazy. And I used to laugh a lot because suddenly we are in Civitavecchia. What are we gonna do? Oh, okay, you're gonna ask permission to go to Rome. So we go to Italy, to Rome. So I try to learn as much as I can and have fun and earn a lot of money in the time. And that was the main motivation in the beginning. Yep. And save and travel and to have fun.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why with the other cruise ship that work at Disney, it was a little more, almost in the same motivation, but more regimented.
Yes.
It was more in the professional way. Yeah, really, yes. It was a little bit older and just more strict goals. So after 5 years, I'm going to be semi-retired until make Juliet, and then we fall in love, but we are together since that time. But it's interesting because the semi-retired didn't exist because I was trying to semi-retiring in Honduras. It was good money to have those 2 contracts, to 10 years in saving. And came to New Zealand, go back, start all over again. So
this is the thing you do, isn't it? And I suppose if you're a busy person, you never really retire anyway.
I think not. No.
No, you just always keep going.
He's he's not a young man, and he still works, and I love that. And
I'm still young. Just because I'm going to turn 47 next week.
Never a dull moment.
Yeah.
But what was interesting for me, I think, coming back to you guys travelling and going to different countries, is hospitality in England is very much not considered a good profession. But like when you go to like Spain and France, they consider that really it's respected a lot more. I think that's something that we should all, hospitality staff should get the utmost respect. I've been there myself. I worked in hotels for a number of years. As I say, in a holiday centre, the amount of the experience that you give your guests when they come through the door, and that's what's nice coming to the coffee shop, is that you get a good welcome, and people, it's important, that, isn't it, to sort of engage with your customers.
And absolutely it is, and create an experience. And I agree with you, Nikki. It's we are getting a lot better at it. Our focus is changing.
I used to work with a guy in England called Macedo, and he was from Spain, and he was like, I think it was Spain, he was like, such professionalism is bestowed upon people working in those countries where they get good money and they've got progressions, whereas that doesn't happen always in New Zealand and back in the UK. Hospitality is considered a minimum wage job. I'd like to see that be, considered more of as a professional thing. And you certainly feel really good when you come into your shop.
I think back to the where your analogy about the hospitality, I think everything changed a lot into New Zealand since exposure of the Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
A lot of tourists start to come and New Zealand is putting in the spot and people start to step up a lot. And the evolution through a small town, so everybody know each other. Exactly. And everybody hired a friend or family, or everybody that know and people who work in the gas station, whoever working in the dairy, is everybody family and friends.
Yes.
To create and break the evolution of why they're gonna be friendly if they know each other. Okay, it's just Nikki. That's all like this. And so now we had a better schools of hospitality in Wellington and Wairarapa and everywhere in the city. The expectations are different. The people changing a lot.
Yes, that's right.
And sometimes that's why it is important to have fresh people who want to be working with people who like people who like to be kind. Because it will not function very well if you don't like people. No. You have to be likable. You like food, people, wine, coffee. All this simple element.
Exactly. But you have to want to do it well as well. Because you can tell when they've just hired any staff in a place, can't you? And they've not thought about those people, their people skills and how they make people feel when they come into the coffee shop, or into anything really. Similar in my business, a lot of people come and they want to talk about tech and they're pretty scared to talk about it. So you've got to make them feel like you're cocooning them in this nice bed of... niceness. A bed of niceness and a bed of simplicity, because tech can be quite complex, so people think they're being ripped off, or if they don't understand it. So so we've all got our strengths in our businesses, eh?
yeah, definitely.
So and you've got a homestay as well on the square.
The square. Yeah,
my brain's going mad. And I meant to get a coffee before I came out. I only had a tea, and that's not quite as good as coffee.
A good cup of tea.
Yeah.
We do. We have Casita Flora Homestay.
Yes.
Which we established, or we set up 2016, June of 2016. So she's 2 now, and it's a really lovely building. We purchased the old TAB building in Park Road, Carterton, which, funnily enough, I used to walk past as a wee child every day. I grew up in Park Road on a small farm a couple of kilometres further down, and it's a neat building, and we got a hold of that and created the previous owner had done a lovely job renovating. Actually, she and her daughter used to live there, and when we walked in, it just had a real nice feel about it, Nikki. It just very light, very open, with a very sunny, gorgeous courtyard out the back, very private. So we've replicated a feel. So if you were to go from the cafe to our homestay, to the gallery, or our home, it feels the same. It's got that Guerrero feel about it.
that colour, that warmth.
Yeah, the vibe.
Yeah. I could imagine that. Yeah,
we've decorated it with a lot of, again, Latin American pieces and lovely rugs and spreads from Guatemala, and nice wall pieces, wooden masks, and colourful pictures that I picked up when I was in Antigua, Guatemala on my last trip, and had them framed from good friends of mine in Greytown. Richard and Janie framed those for me, and made it all cosy and nice. It's got a wee log burner. People love it.
Yeah, and it's handy, isn't it?
It's handy. It's super handy.
Buckhorn's just over the road. The Buckhorn is just over the way.
Indeed, yep.
And all those, there's loads of cafes in Carterton now. It's really on the up, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's good. It's lovely and central, and but it's still private and it's quiet. And our guests, we've had great feedback.
Yeah, so I saw the paint going on it, because it was I lived in Carterton about 10 years, and it was it looked empty for a little while, and then suddenly people started was that the people previous who put the
Yeah,
colours
she
on?
put the black on.
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
building. And since then we've used a lovely terracotta-y colour around the windowsills. So when I was in Guatemala, I took a lovely photograph of an old monastery on my phone and stood back and thought I really loved the way, I mean, this was, you know, centuries old, magnificent building, but it always stuck in my mind as having a real presence about it. So I tried to, in my own way, replica that, and we've added a big window box with succulents and cacti and bright flowers and tiling around the windows. But the real beauty, I think, is it sits in the courtyard out the back, which people can't see. We've got a lovely big bright green gate, and just slowly sort of creating that vibe, that feel of where we're taking it.
Yeah, because you
Mexican-y feeling. And
you wouldn't. We wouldn't imagine looking from the front what's going on around the back there, eh? Because it's quite private, isn't it? It's extremely private property.
It is, and super sunny. So I've got everything's planted in pots.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't have 2 hedges to do.
No, gosh.
Or 2 lots of lawns to mow.
Oh, lawn mowing is dreadful. I've got a mower and somebody comes and mows mine now because we just don't have the time to do
Time's
it.
the
Yeah,
thing, yeah.
Exactly. And that's a good idea. In pots, I might borrow that.
Yeah.
I've got a little space at the front of my house that would make a nice little sitting and put some pots in there.
Pots are good.
Yeah.
And things that love sun, succulents, and a lot of things do really well in pots. You've just got to be mindful of keeping watering and feeding them like wee babies.
Right. Yeah, because it gets dry, doesn't it, in the summer?
Does. Yeah, absolutely.
We could actually be in quite a warm and dry environment. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to play some spank.
Yeah.
I'm going to play this song. It's not necessarily about Honduras, but I play the trumpet. And recently, we've got our stuff on Spotify. We've had an influx of people from Mexico who like our stuff.
Oh, truly?
Yeah, so I'm thinking, you can tell me after we've listened to it, if you think that this is, I think it's the trumpet, to be honest. Now, let's get this on and see if, so this is called Let's Do It Again. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I think my thing crashed. That's not very good, is it? We were enjoying that. That's called Let's Do It Again. It may come back on if we open up this thing. Well, we deal with everything on this show, don't we? This is my first technical difficulty with music. Yeah, I said, I did say, didn't I, before I came on there, I've dealt with everything on this show, and I haven't obviously dealt with music, with the music problem. Okay, so it didn't like Let's Do It Again. We'll definitely find another song for you to play later. Okay, so we did hear the trumpet. So can you I've got this, I absolutely love mariachi trumpet.
So do I. I've got Marvin.
Just in love with the trumpet.
I love the mariachi sound, and
they're so handsome and lovely.
Yeah. Just come into your microphone.
They're so handsome and lovely.
So the mariachi. What I love about mariachi is it's a really overblown, really overdriven sound for a trumpet, and I love that whole Mexican feel. So like when we've done as you heard in that one, I've got this whole Mexican kind of thing going. We've got a few songs that start like that because and when we went to do Battle of the Bands, they said, "Oh, you guys are cowpunk." I don't know what the hell cowpunk is, but you know that's cowpunk. No, because we try not to have a genre anyway. But yeah, so I think this is why the Mexican people are picking us up, because of the trumpet. Mm-hmm. So we've got more fans in Mexico at the moment than we have in New Zealand.
Wow, that's crazy.
There is a band called Café Tacuba.
Yeah.
I was just listening to them, and it sounds almost like you. And it's a guy. He's crazy. He sings crazy, nice, beautiful music.
Yeah.
Tacuba. Yeah, Café Tacuba. Yeah.
Because I love Latin American music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting because there's talking about this guy from Mexico. Or Mexico got whole influence on North America and Central America music. Okay, so the music is from romantic boleros and mariachis, and they don't play salsas. All the salsas they come to the Caribbean side.
Yep.
All right, and some of that rock in Spanish from Argentina and Chile, and very interesting about the influence of the Mexican. But that band is almost like the guy is like a rebel. You know, most of the Mexican artists in the 60s and the 70s didn't want to be nice-looking guys and kind of almost politically correct. And that guy is just crazy.
He just doesn't care.
No, he doesn't care.
Well, we're a bit like that, eh?
This is what I like of him, because it's just suddenly he decided to go to sing in a skirt. Where the Mexican boys who want to be macho men? No, I don't care. They don't want to look like a little scared, but he doesn't look like a girl.
No, he's just wearing a skirt.
Really want to do the skirt.
And why not? And why not, indeed? We were talking about that the other night. And my big thing is I'm quite ostentatious, like on ostentatious stuff, you know. I've just started doing CrossFit, so I'm getting quite fit, and it's quite cool. But I need to buy some shoes, and there were some shoes on NZ sale that were silver with lights around the sole.
Of course.
And I'm like, they've got to be they're Spank. They're totally stage shoes. Not that I would wear them now or do CrossFit in them, because they'd probably be hopeless, but they'd be absolutely fantastic, you know, because when you go on stage you become a different person. You've got a persona.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah, and I guess you probably have that, like, almost being in a cafeteria and being a host of a cafe is like being on a stage.
Absolutely. And it's
you're creating a show.
A show, and just basically when we're in the show, we focus in a whole package, you know, in how everything is organized, how the food's come, the coffee, how harmony, how everybody is focusing one is the clients and the customer service.
Yeah.
So it is easier to not focusing ourselves, you know, focusing in the audience.
That's right.
And how we're gonna deliver the product. So
exactly.
We had the people expecting they get expectation, and we deliver it, we become successful.
Yeah.
Because people had a different timing is very important.
Exactly.
If we deliver the timing and the show is great. In the end, people are happy.
Exactly. It's like you're on your stage and people are focused on you and your food and your coffee and everything. It's a whole experience, and some people get that wrong. Some people think, oh, it's just the food, because I was like, when you go to meet someone in a cafe, sometimes the acoustics are wrong and you can't talk. And talking is a big part of what you do in a cafe. I go to meet people, I want to be able to hear them, you know. So it's like, you know, sometimes
the
clank gets so noisy you can't hear anything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that acoustics. Me and my partner were talking about that. Even that is important in a cafeteria, in a place where you're going to go and meet. And
it is.
Yeah.
And particularly, you've got to look at the generations of people that are in your space and what works for them.
Exactly. And you've got a really good space there, and acoustically, it is quite a good place. Yeah, you can actually hear other people in your place.
Yeah, it is.
We went down to I had a big meeting somewhere, and there's lots of us, and it was really, really noisy. You couldn't hear anybody.
Couldn't hear yourself think, love.
No, and it's not relaxing at all, is it, to do that? So So, do you just have your own pieces in your gallery, or do you bring in other people's stuff?
I have a combination.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess, most of the jewellery are my own creation. So all the neck pieces I make, but I also complement with, I have a really quirky, gorgeous range of earrings.
Yeah.
That I will bring in, that I will pick up from a lot of my suppliers, funnily enough, or a handful of my dear, dear friends, people that I met back when I had my gallery in the 80s and 90s, I still deal with in business, and that's neat, and they're still doing what they're doing. So, and they've got a really good eye. So bringing in pieces that complement mine by way of like bracelets and earrings, and yes, I sell a few pieces on behalf of people. I've got a good friend up the Kapiti Coast that makes really gorgeous wall pieces. She makes out of mother of pearl and gorgeous crosses made of vintage jewellery that work really well, and some Kiwiana pieces of vintage jewellery. Some gorgeous felt hats that a woman that I've recently met, lovely bright and earthy coloured felt hats, and who doesn't like to wear a good hat when they're out in the Wairarapa winter?
I know.
In the garden or walking their dogs. I got a visit from a dear elderly lady at 4 o'clock on Saturday night. I was just closing the gallery and she arrived. She'd been to Don Luciano and she'd seen a little range of things, because I also sell from the cafe some pieces there, and it works really well. So people are having their coffee or something to eat and they have a wee browse at Casita Flora at the stock that I have at the gallery, and they end up coming to see me in Carterton in my bigger space. So she arrived and she said, I walk my dog in Henley Lake. I said, I know, we've seen you and we've met you over the years. And she said, I need a good sturdy hat. So off she went with this gorgeous hat in her bag, and so that's the hats covered. And then we also I sell lots of I've got a friend that does weavings, flax weavings.
Oh, nice.
Also up the Kapiti Coast, some beautiful wool pieces. And so Nikki, if I see striking pieces that I think work in my space, then I'll add them to my collection as well.
It sounds like a fascinating space. I can't believe I haven't been in to have a look.
It's an unusual space. It's definitely not commercial, and it has a feel of its own, doesn't it, Marvin?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got a very bohemian, very rustic, but I think enticing.
Yeah, sounds fascinating. Sounds like something that I need to come and have a look at.
You do.
I do.
Yeah,
definitely.
and each weekend I will meet somebody different, or somebody else will. And because of where it is off the beaten track a little. It's a destination, and that's what I want to create from our space. Is somewhere where, for garden lovers it appeals. People that want to come to purchase plants or pots or succulents. I've got a lot of perennials coming on for spring and summer. So in the past 3 or 4 weekends, I've been potting up. So all the plants come from my own garden.
Yep. And I've seen some outside on the road.
Outside on the road, big wheelbarrows and beautiful rustic tables full of pieces. And I've got bird boxes, and I've even got a Rosella's nesting box.
Yep.
So people that love birds have been popping by and picking up boxes for their gardens. And
cause it's nice to watch the birds, isn't it?
I love birds.
I love birds. I've got a client who makes some bird feeders. It's just lovely to watch the birds. It's sort of grounding.
I know, they're beautiful, and the tuis just in the Wairarapa, they're beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It is, and even in town, we've moved up to Masterton now, and even in town we get some interesting birds in our garden.
Yeah, and it's to be encouraged. We need to look after our feathered friends.
We do. I love birds. So coming back to you, Marvin. So what kind of cuisine would we get in? You're talking about Latin American. What sort of things do you put on your menu?
Well, put less complicated things. More, I go back to the street food.
Yeah.
The one normally we have in Honduras, Mexico, and Guatemala, and Colombia. in Colombia and I know to give this a lot of street food in the corners. There's no more cafes. There are not so many. There are cafes, but the street is food is the freshest. Arepas is a corn tortillas, but it's a corn masa pre-cooked. It's opening like a patty, like a bread.
Yeah.
You fill. You can make a vegetarian, slow cooked pork beef and chicken. And quesadillas is a very Mexican. It's almost like a pizza.
Yeah.
Or like a version of tosti for Kiwis.
Yes.
It's a flour tortilla with mozzarella cheese and a beautiful spinach and feta. It's just delicious. And when you know fresh salsas, all the salsas we make is fresh. Keeping authentic and keeping very fresh with the salsas and slow cook is the key for us.
Yeah.
So we use the whole Latin ingredients. Okay, so very traditional. We use the acidities, the lemons, the coriander, the spices,
limes and
chilies.
So is spice a big thing? Is spicy?
And infusion, and I bring it up.
Sharp and delicious.
And using the caramelization for the products we use. We got a very nice soup that we really like. It's sopa azteca. The sopa azteca is an Aztec soup. So basically it's tortilla soup with light tomato base with coriander, chilies, avocados, chicken, and it's just infusion all those chilies and chicken. It's light tomato base. It's fresh. It's not fat. It
sounds yummy.
Earthy.
Is it good?
With avocado in it, which is really different for us.
It is, yeah. That's very different to put avocado in things.
In a soup.
Yeah.
Avocado is from
Latin
America, Mexico. Avocado comes from Mexico, and we had avocado trees like how you had
apple tree.
And I just always have avocados with tortilla. So tortilla is a big go in Latin America because, not whole Latin America, from Mexico to North or South America, called Mesoamerica, is the civilization. It was based in food with corn. Aztecs, Mayans, and Lencas.
Yes.
So the whole civilization survived through corn.
Corn, yeah.
Yeah. So the heritage of the corn, together with our beans, influence of the Caribbean side of black Caribbeans from the slaves, mixing coconut and some root okras and the Spanish cuisine blended together with the Middle Eastern influence of Central America is making very rich.
Sounds very.
Mexico has got this whole
fusion.
Central America got an amazing micro fusion for the Middle Eastern, Spanish and natives.
It sounds.
And the soil in Central America, like the soil in Honduras and Guatemala, is so beautifully dark and volcanic and rich, and there's nothing that doesn't grow in it. Nikki. They're plant centres, their gardens are so, obviously tropical plants. And
it's the bands. Yeah, the bands is just because it's a tropic, everything is fresh and we got exceeding grow of all the naturals that we need, garlic, lemons,
avocados,
tomatoes,
all
fruits, tropical
mango,
fruit.
Wow.
So we got the beans, we produce rice and sugar canes, and we got coffee, and we got whole freshness.
One must be careful when tiptoeing through the sugarcane plantations, though, hey?
Snakes.
Snakes?
They like snakes.
Snakes love sugarcane.
Do they? That's an interesting fact.
Yeah.
Factoid there.
Don't mess with them.
The sugarcane is very sea level, and they like sea level because it has proximity of the water of the river. So it's a crop 365 days in the year.
Yeah.
So basically, it's in the sea level, the humidity is that the snakes looking for something fresh. And so the root is very fresh, and it's the pests, rats like the.
Rats like it too.
They like it too. So obviously the snakes are gonna be where it can cut the rat. So
yeah.
But no one gonna walk for the sugarcane plantation, Juliet. If you know.
No, I know.
So if you got the sugar plantation, you had to carry a machete because
I know.
you cut the cane plus kill the snake.
Plus kill the rat. Gee, sounds like a bit of an assault course through a sugarcane plantation, eh?
But to the untrained eye, you wouldn't just pull up on the side. of the
No,
road.
gosh,
You
no.
just go through the sugarcane.
Gosh, no.
It's a commodity or colony.
So you got Honduran roast going on in your roastery. It's Honduras coffee, single origin.
And it's a single origin.
Yep.
Yeah. And I got the blend. They're
Yep.
called the Dom.
Yeah, the Dom.
Yeah, the Dom is a blend
Yep.
of Honduras, Colombia, and Guatemala.
So what's...
So,
Go on. No.
yeah, so it's just I want to have something blending all together through the area. So we're Mayans in Central America.
Yep.
Honduras was the capital of the Mayan
Yep.
world called Copan. So the western side of Honduras, where the coffee come from, they trade with Mayans used to trade with chocolate.
Yep.
So coffee from Honduras and Guatemala is very exotic, very boutique, sweet, chocolatey, and fruity. So when people love chocolate, we
They
love chocolate.
love chocolate.
We like
yes.
fruit.
We love chocolate.
So you had a fruit and chocolate. It's like you had a one Canterbury chocolate, with fruity chocolate. So
yeah.
make a coffee with the flavor of chocolate and it would punch of caffeine as well.
Yeah.
You don't want to drink a coffee and not have much body, so you have to have a body, fruit, and a grain acidity
Yeah.
for milk coffee. So I just decided to go into the blend, and I'm happy of the development. I'm happy that people love it and accept it, and they want more and more and more.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good.
And I'm very happy with that. So that is the whole idea to go through the heritage.
Yes.
And Gracias is the brand of the
Gracias.
coffee.
Yes.
So with that brand of coffee called Gracias, thank you, is just because we have to be very grateful
Yes.
for the things we've been given. So I just, I guess part of me, I had a social responsibility to help.
Yeah.
So I want to make the business sustainable, okay, and functional, as any business wants to survive, but at the same time, I don't want to focus in just in the money. I want in the integration of giving away to the and good causes
Yes.
in the Wairarapa, like a mental health and depression.
Yeah.
And people, young people, adults, and everybody
Yes.
get into that disconnection. I think is for the isolation of the way the society communicates.
Yes, that's right.
And the potential I want to do is send a part of kilos of cells to Honduras kidney failure because I lost a brother, a kidney failure, 17 years in dialysis.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he, without my help, I was lucky to be overseas and I was able to help.
Yes.
We were able to.
But it's always a lot of people without the help.
Yes.
People in Latin America and the third world countries, we are rich in one thing and poor in other things.
Yeah, there's
So
quite a lot of poverty, isn't there, over in...
it's because no social welfare.
yeah.
When on no social welfare, everybody is okay until get sick. So what we can do is help, send a little bit of help for that kind of patient or kidneys. If we can help for when wheelchair, or we can buy little things like a. It looks not look like it's not much, but it's a lot for many people.
Well, it will be. The value over there will be immense, won't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because when you don't have no social welfare, there's no money. No money for medication, no money for transportation, money for food. So surviving mood is the most horrible thing, or denigrated that thing in our human kindness.
Yes.
Because we waste money in different things, in alcohol, in drugs, in first world countries, and food, wasting food.
Yeah.
And people are not happy. And in other part of the world, with all this beautiful things coming, coffee.
Yes.
Tropical fruits, banana. Republic
Yes.
Honduras is one of the colonies of bananas in the world.
Pineapple, banana.
And it's very contrast of society. One is happy, the other one is sick because need recovering. The other one is sick mentally, the other one is
sick
poor
physically,
or economically. So The only way we can do it is just by kindness. When my brand of coffee, Gracias, is about lightening and giving, and to smile and to be grateful, and that's what anyone that had a cup of my coffee want to smile and to be just
It's a good coffee.
It's not many things we can do.
You like the coffee, Nikki?
I do like the coffee, yes. I do like coffee at Don
Luciano.
Luciano, yes.
Yeah.
I'll call it the right name now.
Yeah, Luciano.
Luciano.
Yeah.
I think
that's why it's Gracias called.
Yeah.
The cafe called Don Luciano, and the coffee brand is
Gracias.
Thank
Gracias. And I've met your big machine.
Yeah, this is my girlfriend. Oh, my girlfriend.
Are you jealous of the
Marvin's other
machine?
woman.
Are you jealous of the machine?
No, she's a good girl.
Is she good? She keeps in a place, does she?
Yes, no, she looks good.
She does, actually.
She's lovely and shiny, and she presents well.
She does. I mean, if I was going to have a coffee machine, I'd definitely have one like that. Not that I do. I have a little machine in my house, though, that I make my own fresh coffee. So I'll have to come and buy a bag of Gracias.
Yes.
But you're talking about the coffee roaster or the coffee machine or the big white one?
The roaster.
The roaster.
The big roaster.
The pièce de résistance.
Beautiful.
Yes, no, she's lovely, and it's a lovely machine.
She's German.
people love it.
It's imported from Germany, and it's a product, one of the first coffee roasters in the world.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's the first coffee roaster in the world commercially.
Right.
So they keep the technology and high quality.
Yeah.
As everybody knows about the Germans. So they guarantee the machines for many, many years, and they're to make a good coffee, to roast coffee, you need a good roaster.
Yeah.
Okay, good beans. We need a good coffee machine.
Yeah.
Then I got a very nice, beautiful Italian Lamasovo.
Yeah, I saw your coffee machine's good as well. That looks nice.
Yeah. And we need to have a good, passionate barista. They like the coffee. They like to taste coffee. They like to please people as well. So those elements are important for the industry.
Yeah.
They have to be passionate,
Yeah.
and to be able to blend and make changes and adjusting, and because it's not a single formula,
No, that's right.
we have to adjust every day, or it's like an instrument, you can adjust. You have to adjust the sounds.
Yes, tune it up.
Tune it up. So it's the first job in the morning. Tune it up.
Oh, right,
for
cool.
the flavors.
I didn't know that you tune it up. But I had a guy on who does small roasting of coffee a few weeks ago, and he was it was very intriguing that different baristas will have different flavors in their coffee. It depends on the person. Yeah. So when you bring a barista in, would you audition them? Would you say, make me a coffee? And
for any barista, no. I had to train in the way that we.
Oh, you train them up to your.
Yeah, because with the equipments change variation, so we use volumetrics. Volumetrics are a formula, so quantities and volumes by flavoring. So timing of extraction, volumes of liquid, and grams coffee against water to develop, and it's just very interesting. It's very complicated. If you not have an idea how to make a coffee, it's an espresso, but look like we're trying like a scientist. No, we want this quantity of coffee in the cup. And why? We keep extract on the extract, but we want the same consistency. So if the consistency is right for the volumes on the timing, we take the sweetness of the coffee.
Yes.
Aiming for a good barista is to take the sweetness and the extraction.
Yeah.
You can extract bitter, and it's fine as well, but it's changed totally the flavor.
Exactly.
So when we're blending our coffee with milk, and you get this person, make this coffee in this way, and the other in that way, and the other way, you get it.
You never get a consistent coffee in your coffee shop.
Because you get a disaster. You get people saying, no, I like this barista. No, you don't get nothing right. So you can imagine a band playing different sounds, and you're really
exactly.
And you'll be oh my god.
And I suppose in a place where people come for coffee, they want to have a consistency. They want to know that they're going to get the same coffee again, don't they?
We are human beings. We like we are predictable. We like good things people get consistently bad.
Yes, I know.
and they get used to it as well.
As well,
And so it's not people go to places, they consistently is bad and they get used to it. Or it's consistently average or consistently excellent.
So your expectations.
So it's depending on what the people want to do.
That was that. Sorry, I had a noise in my headphones.
Yeah, no, and the consistency in everything is important. And some people are predictable. They are one way, and we want to achieve an excellent.
Yes, and it is a good cup of coffee. I do enjoy it.
Yeah,
it's very nice. Yes. Gosh, you know what? We're nearly coming to the end of the show. Do you know how you said an hour before? Well, it goes so quickly. It really does go so quickly. So I'm going to ask you a few little questions that I usually ask everybody. So what do you really love about the Wairarapa, Marvin?
I like the diversity of people and the separation of space is interesting. About you're in one town and you're driving other 10Ks, you're in another town and you're going one more 10Ks in other. You get different groups of people.
Yeah.
And I like to see the new comers into Wairarapa.
Yeah.
Because I was one of them, and we came with a big wide open, and I'm very happy to be here, and I like to see the people how curious are very curious.
Yes.
And curious about where you're from and want to know your life in 3 minutes.
I know.
And they walk away from you, what's going on? I don't know about you. But anyway, it's interesting about that old school respect. I like that family area. I like the space and the cleanliness.
Yeah, it is good, wide open space. The skies are big, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, and the air is fresh. And you know, when you have been overseas in large cities, when you've been in spaces that have been really quite confined and drastically different. Whenever I travel, it takes me. Night one is touch and go wherever I am. You know, night two, I start to warm up. I'm like an insect that sort of unfolds with the season.
A bit like a cicada.
A cicada. So for me, I can replicate a lot and agree with a lot of what Marvin's said, Nikki, with that. And I love the accessibility in the Wairarapa. Things are here and available, and the trade is here, and we try and shop here, don't we?
Yeah.
I think it's good to support the local business, isn't it?
That we need is in the Wairarapa, and if we do feel like something different, we'll shoot over the hill, or go for a tiki tour, or go out to Matakona Beach, which we absolutely love, stay in a friend's batch out there. But walking the paddocks is wonderful, and picking fresh daffodils, which I did at Dad's place the other day, is priceless.
Oh yeah, I love daffodils. Such a jolly colour.
Beautiful, beautiful time of year, and the jonquils and the baby lambs born, and and the gardens.
Yeah, I always love daffodils coming up. You know, that's the first colour of spring, isn't it?
I know.
The yellow, the bright yellow is so
beautiful.
jolly.
I know.
And you come out in that darkness of the winter. It's just so nice.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that yellow book on your bookshelf there. It's like the daffodils. Yeah, it's a great colour.
It is. It's good yellow. It's not for everyone, but
no, it's not.
Yeah, but it's a very vibrant colour.
Yeah.
So just before we go off air, because we've listened to about your businesses now, how can we get in touch with you if we want to come and look at your gallery? So when you open?
I open on a Friday, Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Or by appointment. So if people wanted to contact me, they could give me a call on my mobile or send me an email, casitaflora@gmail.com, or my Facebook
Yes,
page,
you've got a Facebook page.
Casita Flora Gallery, and you can have a look at a lot of my work on there, and Instagram as well. But if I'm at home, I'm at home. You know, on the weekdays in between, Nikki. So
they can just knock on the door.
They can knock on the door.
And to your your homestay, is that on Airbnb, or you got a website for it?
Yes, we do. And that's casitaflora@gmail.com.
Again, yep.
And they can also come to Airbnb or to... Yeah, I've got it on a few different platforms.
Yeah, so
they can contact me direct.
That was the your email, but the website is casitaflora.co.nz.
.co.nz. That's all right. That's no worries. So if you want to go book for your family to come up here, it's a lovely place. You've heard all about it. casitaflora.co.nz. Now, Don Luciano, that is on the corner of King Street and
Chapel Street, opposite of the Bedcare and the Caltex station.
Yes.
And we open every day. And Mondays we open as espresso bar, cabaret food, plus some soups, just for keep the coffee trade going. But the kitchen is not fully open.
Yeah.
So we just more cabinet. And the rest of the week, from Tuesday to Sundays, fully open.
Nice. And what time do you open?
We open at 7 o'clock in the morning, so we close at 4 o'clock. Kitchen close at 2:30.
Okay.
Okay, and Sundays we open at 8 o'clock and we close at 3:30.
Oh, okay. So, and there's a website for the coffee?
Absolutely.
That's
donluciano.co.nz.
Yep.
Okay, and you can just search over there or find her in
You're on Facebook? Definitely on Facebook.
TripAdvisor and Instagram and
everything else. And it's so nice to see something vibrant in that building that used to be King Street Live. You know, it's just so nice to see something else there.
Yeah, that was great too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I miss that place.
I miss it too.
So, thank you very much for being guests this morning.
Oh, we've enjoyed it. Thank you for having us.
See, it went so quickly, didn't it? Right, so just got a few. I'll just check whether we've got any announcements today off the ladies, because I did ask if anybody had some promotions going. Because what we do is we're part of a Facebook group called Wairarapa Women in Business, and we've got like 580 women in our group. We meet the first Friday of the month at Clareville Bakery at 8:30 till 9:30, but I'm looking at starting one up in Masterton.
Yep, we are here.
So I thought Don Luciano might be a good place for that. So that's us. You can hop over to Facebook, the Facebook group, and check us out. There's always something going on, always somebody promoting their business, etc. And I'm just having a look now what we've got here. Oh, Made to Clean, they've got $25 off your first service with us and $20 off your next clean every time you refer someone who books. We offer the high standards and you won't be disappointed. So you need to go over to Made to Clean. That's one of our ladies. She's got an offer on, $25 off. That sounds good, cleaning, doesn't it?
Indeed, yes.
Marie Claire is from 3 Mile co-working community. She's got a pretty great workshop on this week. It's working with influencers and journalists. Now that will be really interesting. And I think it's Tina who's doing that. So she'll be really interesting to be listened to. And that's a really fabulous space going on over there.
It is. It looks good.
Yeah. I did a talk there last week, I think, or the week before. And it was really good fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm still enjoying my CrossFit, so that's all good. And I've got to mention Hot Yoga for You. Thank you very much for sponsoring our show. We wouldn't be here without our sponsors. Our sponsors are really valuable to us. And thank you to Fuzzbox Designs also for sponsoring the show. Next week, we've got Jill Greathead on here. She'll be talking about her community and voluntary work. So tune in if you want to listen to that. That should be very, very interesting. So we're going to have to sign off now. So it's goodbye from Juliet.
Have a wonderful week, everybody.
Adios, amigos.
And goodbye from me. And we'll see you next week with Jill. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you soon.
Ciao.
So now I'm like my without Johnny Gill. Yes, Decepticon.